Regulars and rookies tonight, with so many on Lions, Ireland or rehab duties. Opportunities in the blue of Ulster this evening. Ulster in their change colours tonight, and a few new faces to be identified. And there's a very popular man, Roger Wilson. 2 spells here at Ulster. His 222nd appearance tonight. And one of the 2 joint captains leading out the squad. I think he might have been playing for the Barbarians tonight. He certainly got 15 minutes at Twickenham on Sunday. Ruan Pienaar, the final end of his 7th season with Ulster. So as Stephen and Eddie were saying, a big night ahead for the debutants. Mark Keane on the wing, Callum Patterson in the centre, along with Matty Ray in the back row. It's a 150th appearance for wing Craig Gilroy, and the joint captains this evening, Pienaar and Wilson. And there's a rare start at out half for Brett Heron. Referee is Welshman Ben Whitehouse. I'm glad to say I think the rain has stopped. Tony, what are Ulster hoping for this evening?
I think it's a good opportunity, as Steve and Eddie have alluded to, Michael, in terms of setting a bit of a mark, showing the punters, the playing punters, what they can do, but showing Les Kiss what they can do as well.
I think the crowd has been affected by the weather. It's a first touch for Craig Gilroy, still hoping for perhaps a call-up for Ireland's tour of USA and Japan. We're hoping to see lots of offloads, but maybe not as many as we might have seen in dry conditions. And that's a first drop ball for Callum Patterson. His first appearance in the Ulster senior team, and getting a pat on the back from Rob Herring for his troubles, which are a man who's got a few nerves.
Yeah, there's definitely a nerve or two out there. It is extremely slippy as well, Michael. It's been pouring down all day, and young Callum Patterson just momentarily taking his eye off the ball. But that's him into the game now. He can build from there.
Ballymena man, Callum Patterson, and this is reputed to be the heaviest Babas pack in their 127-year history.
Fight. Set.
And the South African-born France international Roy Cockett is the Babas scrum half, and you have to say that's a solid scrummage. That's the defeat of Issa, the Argentinian, and there he goes. Keane helping bring him down. Cockett supplying the ball for Valemsi. A huge Montpellier second row, a late call up to this team. Taken on by Takori. Scored a try at Twickenham on Sunday. Driven on by Corey Flynn, the former All Black. Referee in the thick of things. He's a massive, massive man, Valemsi. No mistaking him. Cockett back to Madigan, looking for that corner. Should be Peter Nelson's, the man who came back from that horrendous injury this season. 14 months out, Nelson. And the ball set up for Ulster.
Taken it.
And kicked by Heron. It should be Madigan's ball, no problem at all for the man who'll be playing at Bristol next season. And this is David Smith. Babas penalised, and an opportunity for Pienaar, who is certainly not going to be playing the full 80 minutes, to pump Ulster into the Babas 22. What a kick.
Yeah, quality strike, but you're dead right about this Barbarian side, Michael. Absolutely stoked with poundage and inches as well. Big men. Perhaps from an Ulster point of view, outgunned physically, but their game plan surely has to be to keep the ball alive, work this big Barbarians pack around and find some holes, because holes will appear. They're a pack that likes to pick and go round the corner. We've seen that already. Ulster have to keep the tempo high.
Well, we'll certainly see plenty of the Babas replacements. No shortage of 30-somethings in the Babas team. Herring. Quick line-out ball, that's nicely done. A little bit of innovation from the line-out. And that was a touch from Matty Ray.
Yeah, that's just exactly what we're talking about. Ball off the top, little reverse. Matty Ray doing well down the corner, just getting squeezed into touch.
Quickly taken by the Babas. Matty Ray, a Schools Cup winner here back in 2010. Cockett clears the lines. That should be a take for Mark Keane, does well. Nelson. Here goes Gilroy. Little grubber for Patterson to chase. And it's back with Nelson. Looking at the options, being encouraged to run. He sliced at someone. And Smith is underneath it for the Babas. The ball goes backwards. Cockett. Drop from Madigan. And it is Tony McGregor, the proverbial bar of soap this evening.
Yeah, the ball's going to be slippy. And we've seen plenty of kicking so far as well, which just both sides looking to feel each other out, get some field position, some territory as well. And that's very uncharacteristic for Ian Madigan, who is a man made for Barbarians rugby as well. Michael loves the silky touches, good runner, ball in two hands, and an eye for a gap as well.
Well, Callum Patterson can stop beating himself up. If Ian Madigan can drop that ball, anybody can. It's a front row of Warwick, Herring and Ayew for Ulster against Chris King, Corey Flynn and Mike Ross, who ends his glittering career this evening.
Set.
Let's see what Ulster have got planned with options either side. Wilson pops up for Pienaar. Heron. Now an opportunity for Stuart McCloskey to run. And he's going to run. And he's going to run. And he's going to run. McCloskey with the opening try in the 6th minute for Ulster. And there was no stopping him.
Yeah, defence maybe a little bit weak, Michael, but Stuart McCloskey took a great line. Good step as well against Alex Good. Left him for dead, but nice set piece ball. Wilson to Pienaar. Just see Heron come round and throw that no-look pass. Great line from McCloskey. Transfer of ball. Skips out of Alex Good's tackle and over he goes. And that's what Stuart McCloskey can do. So devastating in those short lines.
His 8th try for Ulster in his 59th appearance. Brushing aside the defenders. Now, would you believe it, Roger Wilson is having a go at the conversion. No, I think this was something that should have been done at least a decade ago. Roger Wilson, the great goal kicker.
I think he's been practicing that, Michael, all week, and maybe more nerves. Slotting the conversion, we were running out tonight, but
that looked like a little sand wedge to me.
He made it look very easy, just clipped it away.
Well, he got that try against Leinster 3 weeks ago. He's a very popular conversion taker this evening. Aaron finds his touch. I wonder if we're going to see all sorts of different kickers this evening. Certainly Chris Masso, who's on the bench, late call up for the Barbarians. He put over a conversion for Racing in their top 14 semi-final defeat to Clermont. He ended his club career with a conversion. And Ulster have perhaps stolen that, back with Pienaar. Not quite the same pace as we would see in a competitive match. And let's see what the Babas can do. 7 points down. Got to run from deep. This is Smith. He was eventually well taken down by Clive Ross. Cockett. Madigan helping the ball on. A little bit of rustiness in the Babas handling at the minute. They started explosively at Twickenham on Sunday, but didn't get any points on the board. Let's see if they can do anything now. That's Robbie Fruin. Madigan. Back inside for Fruin, who's wearing 22. Madigan again. Owned by Albacete, the Argentinian.
Tackle, release.
They're lined out on this near side. Slow ball for the Barbas. Willemse. And again, the ball not going to hand. Swept back for Gilroy. Now Falevu threw a bit of a loose pass. And at the moment, it's not the sort of vintage Barbarians performance that the fans were hoping to see. Ulster being forced back. That original knock-on was by an Ulster hand, and by Barbarian scrimmage. There was Brett Heron back on his feet. Nothing Andy Warwick could do.
I think that's just the way you're going to see the Barbarians try and play this, Michael, as they always do. There'll be moments of absolute genius in champagne rugby, and they'll be, undoubtedly will score 2 or 3 tries out of nothing whatsoever, where it'll just be first gear, second gear, and then bang into 6th, and through they'll go. Just the nature of the game and the nature of the rugby they play.
And the nature of being effectively a scratch side.
Yeah, it's hard to get it right. New combinations, even again from the weekend and the English match.
Lisa feeds Cockett. No, there might be a little bit of room now on this near side. David Smith. Taken down by a combination of Keenan Nelson. Madigan. That's an awful pass.
No, it's not offside.
Compare what the referee thought. Advantage being played for Ulster now. Pinar. Try score McCloskey. Again he breaks through. McCloskey chip over the top. Can Keane mark his debut with a try? Yes he can! Mark Keane, the happiest man at the Kingspan Stadium. He won the Schools Cup with RBAI in March of 2016, and he scored inside 11 minutes for Ulster.
He still looks that he should be at school as well, Michael. He doesn't look any older than 15 or 16. But once again, McCluskey does so well and has the intelligence, has a look round him, pass isn't on. Subtle left foot kick. Mark Keane did that well, good pace and judged it nicely. Pounced in the loose ball, and he's been doing that for fun for years and years at schoolboy, and he's made a transition into senior rugby very well this year. He's definitely one for the future.
Ireland under-19 star, Ulster A star, and Mark Keane scores on his debut against the Barbarians. And there's the man who set it all up, Stuart McCloskey. In terms of the conversions, normal service has been resumed. Lou and Pinar. We entered this game on 877 points. We'll try and make it 879. How they'll miss him at the Kingspan Stadium. We see it again. Little skip from McCloskey. Breaking through the tackles, an intelligent chip ahead. Keane kept his eye on the ball. Tony Ulster halfway to a bonus point.
Halfway indeed, Michael.
Well, let's see if Alex Good can set something up for the Barbas. It's a good challenge by Matty Ray.
Balls on the deck, release. No. You can't take the man, you've got nothing to do with the rock.
It's Alex Good getting pinged, Michael, playing a man not involved in the ruck, right in front of the referee, Ben Whitehouse, straight on the whistle. But you mentioned Matty Ray there. He's had a really good start. dovetailing nicely with Wilson.
Oh, dramatic stuff indeed by David Smith. It's more like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, just that attempt there, just to try and keep the ball in play, and quite clearly out. But again, a good chance for Ulster. I mentioned Matty Ray. He has had a few injuries. One that the academy have brought through, the Ulster Academy that is, over the last couple of years, and certainly a prospect that they've been looking at. He has been held back by injury, and one would hope from his point of view of a good pre-season and a chance to get involved big time next year.
That's taken on by Clive Ross. Long through working well for Ulster. Pienaar finding the man wearing the scrum cap is Pete Brown. Pienaar again. Ulster looking for try number 3. And here's Craig Gilroy with a dancing feet. On by Ayew.
Fine.
Loose ball. Scrambled back. Well done by Mike Ross for the Babas. And a good clearance kick.
Yeah, it's Rory Cockett relieving the pressure. Franson Cast, number 9, South African by birth, but a quality player. Good goal kicker as well, but showing good footballing skills there, picking up the loose pieces. And Ulster were disappointed with that. Michael built up a good head of steam, going side to side, and uncharacteristic spillies, just not protecting the ball at the breakdown. And given the conditions tonight, that's the first thing you have to do. You've got to make sure of your transport and then your transfer.
Come on, please. Let's go.
Ulster cutting the line out. And Ross taking it. Heron. McCloskey, nice feed into try scorer Keane.
Now, release. No, first man wasn't.
And that's Herring. Nelson getting all caught up with referee Whitehouse. To Ulster's disadvantage is loose ball. And that's Heron's kick. A decent bit of tidying up by Ulster's out half.
You can see what Ulster are trying to do, Michael. Hit midfield and then come back in that reverse. And they're very keen on attacking back inside off that first receiver at the ruck. What they anticipate from the Barbarians is that they're going to just move sideways defensively. And as they come wide, if Ulster can get in around that pillar and post position, there will be space. Peter Nelson trying his hand on this occasion, finding no way through.
Former All Black Corey Flynn finding Albacete. I tell you what, Ray's enjoying himself. Cockett looking for Madigan, bit of a blind alley. And straight down the throat of Peter Nelson. He's got Gilroy with him. And it might be a decent pass in the end. That's Pienaar, and that's the halfway line.
No, there's no hand. Just right along.
Warwick. Heron. Now the break is on for Clive Ross. Is anybody with him? The pitch gets the better of him, but Ross retains possession up to the 22. McCloskey to Heron. Patterson's there for the grubber kick. Patterson trying to beat Agusha.
Yeah, I think Brett Heron might have been better served. Michael ball in hand, just running at the diagonal. Needed somebody to straighten it really from outside him, and even with that they had the advantage. We see the ball coming wide here. Great break by Clive Ross. Pienaar's trying like mad to get on his shoulder, slipping the recycle, but here's Heron. Maybe the pass to Callum Patterson was on because young Keane was again sniffing out in that left-hand corner, and he certainly would have fancied to go for number 2.
Horacio Agusha got down. And there's the man who's heading to Montpellier to play under Vernon Cotter next season.
Set.
Let's see what Ulster have been practicing. Pienaar Chip over the top for Patterson. Didn't get there. The Barbarians have barely been in the Ulster half in the opening 18 minutes. Well, if Craig Gilroy can feel that and find young Mark Keane, let's see if he's got the pace. No, he hasn't got the pace to get away from
You had a hand, you can't play it.
Barbarians.
Playing advantage.
Mathalefu. And this is Albacete.
First man, offside. Is it 7? Thank you. Number 7. Back there. Plenty of men there, it's fine.
Clive Ross, the man being penalised. And popped in by Cocht.
I thought the ref could have let that go, Michael. Maybe no massive advantage Barbarians-wise, but certainly they managed to recycle, keep the ball up, and had an overlap on the left-hand side, and not quite sure why Ben Whitehouse thought it was right to bring that back. I think in the spirit of the game so far, he would have been better off just letting that run.
Corey Flynn finds his man. Can the Babas rumble over? Not famed for rumbling over, but they're 14-0 down. And they're short of the line and they're over. And it's Corey Flynn with the try.
We talked at the start of the match, didn't we, about the size of these guys, and they may be getting on a little bit as well, but technically they're very, very good. Albacete gets up in front of Alan O'Connor. The squeeze comes on. Also try to whip it round, and Barbarians just regain, and Corey Flynn just appears out the middle and able to finish that off.
Well, you keep an eye on the number 2. He's about to break out and over, and there he goes, despite the best attentions of Messrs Keane and Ross. And as Aguja will attempt the conversion. A try score for Argentina against Ireland back in the day. And he doesn't look much of a conversion kicker.
I think he could take a lesson or two from Roger maybe after the match, Michael.
Very reasonable rates, I'm sure, Roger.
But that's pure Barbarians, isn't it? In terms of where they took that from. Fielding a kick inside their own goal line, long kick out from Alex Good with a chase, win a penalty, and then that's the un-Barbarian bit, the catch and drive, and 5 points.
I apologise for that bare bottom. It's available on the iPlayer if you missed it. Right, they've got on the score sheet. Can they run the ball from their 22? David Smith was doing his best. Madigan. Ulster back row have been very, very tidy in the opening 21 minutes. That's our big friend Valemsi. Madigan with a crew cut, with a buzz cut. Slippery, slippery, but he's somehow wriggled away. Here goes Flynn, the try scorer. Takes Nelson and Patterson to bring him down. McCloskey being forced to run back. Does well. I'm sure Brett Heron won't thank him for that, but Heron does excellently. And did it go straight out? Yes, it did. Yeah, unlucky.
Just tried to skew that off the outside of the right foot, didn't he? The old banana kick, and just overdid it. But Corey Flynn certainly making himself known to Peter Nelson there. The old Murray sidestep. Showed him the outside, showed him the inside, and then decided to go route one over the top of him. And Nelson did well to pull him down at the same stage. But you see how clever Cockett was after that, Michael. Ball slightly slow to come back, and Barbarian support line had actually overrun, and Cockett just drops back and puts that left-footed kick in behind, and such a clever, clever player.
I think one of the concerns of Vern Cotter is that with all the 30-somethings in this Barbarian squad, they might start puffing and blowing in the second half, but that's what replacements benches were invented for. Again, it's McCloskey and Heron doing the tackling. the Ulster 22. Picking and driving, picking and driving. Cockett. He has support with Aguja and also Nayathalevu. Won by Valimsi.
Hands away. Good.
Alex Good is acting at scrum half. Madigan. Ulster tackling in
No,
midfield
it's a ruck, it's a
with
ruck.
Pete Brown to the fore. Albacetio. Good. That's Takori. And this should be Nayathalevu in. And he just brushed aside Peter Nelson. Try score for Fiji here back in November against the Babas. And he's got the Babas' second try this evening.
Beautifully worked score as well, wasn't it? Just that bit of midline rugby, midfield. And playing down the blind side, Joe Takori just takes and gives easy. Nayathalevu. Pete Nelson really's getting no chance from there because Nayathalevu is a big, big guy.
Peter Nelson, well, he wasn't going to stop him, was he? 26-year-old Stade Francais player. Right, Aguja should have got his angles right from the last one. It's a trickier kick. Let's see if he makes a better fist of it. He certainly has. Fair play to him. And just the 2 points now separate the teams after 25 minutes.
The difference there, Michael, was a tee. I think he teed that up an extra 6 inches, and that made all the difference.
Normally, if I tee it up higher, it disappears off into the rough of the undergrowth.
Absolutely. He was about 6 feet in front of it.
14-12.
Ulster 14, Barbarians 12.
Albasetti's underneath it.
More! First stop.
Floodlights are on. Still damp, but the rain has certainly hopefully made its last appearance of the evening. He's a brute, isn't he? But Ulster
Slapped out.
very nearly.
Whoa, lads, come on. Hands me.
Well, Callum Patterson's determined to make it a night to remember for him. Maybe not the guy to pick on.
No, and I think Stuart McCluskey's feeling the effects of Valimsi there as well. He just got dispatched like a fly on the wall.
Ruan Pienaar will be delighted that Paul Valimsi will be his teammate next year. Along, of course, with Aaron Cruden too. And look at that McCluskey.
For any young man watching at home, that's not how to do it.
Go low, young man, go low. Easier said than done. When you have a fella who's over 21 stone coming towards you. Albasetti taps it back. Corey tidies up.
Going back with it.
Again,
Leave it.
making progress metre by metre, the Babas. And a slippery ball, perhaps that's the way to do it.
Mate. Stay back.
Flynn feeds it out to King.
Back. Keep going back.
Cockett. Madigan. Fruin.
More.
Called by referee Whitehouse. And well done, Ulster. And there's Matty Ray again.
Yeah, Matty Ray and Roger Wilson. Certainly Roger Wilson rolling back the years as well. A man of the match display against Leinster in the last Pro 12 game, and he's putting his body on the line tonight. And certainly from Matty Ray's perspective, there could be nothing better to look up to in terms of a focal point for a player that he would love to turn into than Roger Wilson.
Well, not a bad boast for Ray in future years that his first game for Ulster was against the likes of Joe Takori and Thierry Dusautoir.
He's done well there, hasn't he? Just latches on to Fruin. A choke tackle. Keeping the ball off the deck, earning Ulster the turnover.
Bite. Set.
I somehow think Ryan Pienaar won't miss the Belfast weather.
9, 9, 9, come on. Behind the ball.
Ulster scrummage wobbling slightly, but here goes Pienaar. Nelson. Pocket brings him down. Nelson turns to try and make that ball alive for Ulster. Squirted out in this near sidewards. Picked up by Aguja, who had his foot in touch.
Joe Corey, Michael with the turnover. You can see him quite legal there.
9.
On 2 feet, continually holding his own body weight as well. And he is another behemoth of a man, but massively talented.
And just, I think, a little touch by Mark Keane on the foot of Horacio Aguja. Forced the Argentinian into touch. And good line-out ball for Ulster. McCloskey, Patterson. Up against Fruin, no way through. And he's been penalised.
Just riding a little bit too high in with the ball too high in the tackle, and he, again, it's that choke tackle Fruin, and Nassia Levu this time on the ball, and Patterson not releasing, giving the ball away. But great story about Robbie Fruin, Michael. 4 or 5 years ago, Canterbury Crusader, multiple Super 12, Super 14 winner, and then quite some nasty health issues regarding his heart, and lost up to 2 years, fell down the pecking order, and he's fought over this year by Todd Blackadder to Bath, and I think he's on his way to Edinburgh perhaps next year. But it's just great to see someone like that back playing the game after suffering the setback that he's had.
Gavin Andrews is pitch side.
Richard Hibbard, we dragged you away from a very, very relaxed warm-up.
Yeah, it's a touch relaxed. I think a bit relaxed earlier because we didn't start too quick.
Yeah, the boys have woken up. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Some good running out there for both teams. Some inventive stuff as well from both. It's good. It's good. It's warming up now.
What is it about the Babas that makes all you stars sign up and go, yes, why not?
Oh, it's a massive honour to play for the Barbars. You look at the shirts before you, and you just want to do a tiny bit of justice.
Do you want to try your hand at commentary here?
God no.
We'll give it back to the boys who know what they're doing.
I'll probably swear.
Number 3, side entry to the ball. On the line, lads.
Gavin Andrews is our pitch-side reporter.
Okay, yeah.
And we're back with the Barbarians penalty.
When it's tapped, it's 10 metres.
Rodney, are you guilty? You can see him, Michael, just running
from
the
side.
just running around the side of that, and Ben Whitehouse played the advantage. Madigan with the crossfield wiper, and Pete Nelson taking a comfortable but yet good mark on his own goal line.
Please.
Under duress from Aguja.
Little confab. Joe Tacori in the thick of things.
Lads, we've got to
I
hit
agree
that
that
back.
Cockett should just pop it into touch. Let's see what the Babas can do from this lineup. There's Valemsi. Almost big enough on his own to rumble over. And that might just be the idea. Valemsi adding his weight at the back. Cockett encouraging the pack forward, and they're over. And they take the lead.
That's beautifully worked, isn't it, as well? Catching in a very subtle shift drive. Also try to hit that hard and wheel it towards the touchline, but the Barbarians know what's coming and set it in field. There's that subtle shift inside. Also try to hit it the deck and take nobody out, and that wants that way to set up with the likes of Valemsi to Corey Flynn in there. They just churn around the corner, and Cockett, he pilots him over from scrum half.
Well, I think it was Chris King, the prop forward, who got the ball down and over.
Great technique though, isn't it? Look at the body height as well, good body angles. Ulster really having no answer in there for the power of the Babas pack.
That was the Babas' third try. Aguja having a go from the other side now.
I think he's got this one teed up even higher, Michael.
This could go out of the ground. More a side foot effort. and a wee bit wide. Just the sheer weight of the pack,
isn't it? You can just see physically, they just almost per man, they almost look twice the size of each of the Ulster players, and weight advantage of that magnitude comes to bear throughout the game.
Alan O'Connor just sent skidding on his heels. That's a drop by Albacete.
Knocked on offside.
Robbie Fruin giving away the penalty, knocked on by the Barbarians, and Fruin finding himself in front of the ball, unable to control his urge to pick it up.
Super kick by Pienaar. Who said he was only going to play 20 minutes this evening? I heard a vicious rumour. Obviously not true.
It actually wouldn't surprise me if he ended up in the Baba side, maybe towards the end as well, just for maybe just for a small cameo for both sides.
He played, I think, about 15 minutes at Twickenham on Sunday. Another good take. The Ulster lineouts worked well. Well, the home fans want to see Baba has given a taste of their own medicine.
Still more.
The ball is there. And Ulster rumbling up and over. Referee's had a look.
Try. Yep. Try call.
And he's given it.
Callum Patterson, Michael.
Callum Patterson on his debut. Trying to keep the smile off his face.
Absolutely. Well, it's not very often in the Barbarians match you say that 3 of the scores come from catch and drive lineouts, but 3 of the scores this evening have done, and also showing they can do it just as well. Patterson and McCluskey joining the forwards, adding that extra bit of faith. And again, it's technically very good body position. The front of them all working hard to create the space. No surprise, Roger Wilson leading it.
So Patterson on his debut, Keane on his debut, and Matty Ray has impressed as well. Ulster possibly more ticks on the credit side so far. 5 minutes left in the first half, and you would never doubt that Pienaar was going to get that and Ulster regain the lead.
Well, it's been a good first half, lots of free-flowing rugby given the conditions. Barbarians have certainly brought their own brand of rugby to the game. Maybe not the brand that we would expect, Michael, in terms of side to side.
Well, he played 35 and a half minutes, and that is that. The final end for Ruan Pienaar in an Ulster jersey. I don't think there'll be the tears of 3 weeks ago against Leinster, but just the smiles and the applause from everybody here at the Kingspan Stadium. And Paul Marshall is on. And he can put his feet up now. Well-deserved rest. He wouldn't appear in a white and black jersey in the second half, would he, Tony?
I just have a sneaking suspicion, Michael, he might be in the Barbarians contract that he signed, but we'll see.
Who knows?
Be a nice way for him to finish as well. He said his party piece for Ulster, and then to perhaps get a cameo for 5 or 10 minutes at the end in the Barbarian shirt. Be a fitting way to finish off his Kingspan career.
Another good take by Pete Brown.
That's 5. First stop there.
The conditions are forgotten about. We're just enjoying the game. And a very tight one it is too. Bounce the ball didn't favour Craig Gilroy.
It's 2 balls there, lads.
It's certainly been fairly evenly matched. Maybe a few suspect missed tackles from the Barbarians at the start, but from an Ulster perspective, they haven't been found wanting. Maybe a little bit underpowered up front, but they've given their all, and as you mentioned earlier on, all the new boys have more than held their own.
Party.
Absolutely, more than held their own, and that's great to see.
Craig Gilroy's in 48 tries. This is his 150th appearance for Ulster. And the Babas are going sideways at the minute. Let's see if they can break over the gain line. Mark Keane brushed aside by Robbie Fruin.
Stay.
Rory Cockett. Ian Madigan. And the big money at Bristol.
It's bounced up. It's bounced up. Initial contact was fine.
Initial contact finds the referee. to Corey.
Keep my marker, Wilco.
It's,
Still playing advantage.
basketball stuff by David Smith. Advantage had been being played.
It started low, it's bounced up.
Here we go back for the penalty on the halfway line.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see that in the slow-mo, because if we can see it from the sideline, Roger Wilson tees him up from a mile out. Issa takes the ball. I think it started high and it certainly finished high. It's on the jawline. Roger can maybe find himself a little bit lucky there not to be spoken to by the referee. Maybe
a card in a competitive game?
Yeah, I think undoubtedly a card in a competitive game, but Issa just bounced back up, didn't make a meal of it. Wants to get the game and the party started again.
And a brilliant kick by Madigan for the Barbas. Let's see if the Barbas can finish the first half by regaining that lead. Rory Flynn has got a dry ball. And he has a target in Valemsi. Issa, I think, trying to get the ball into his hands.
Playing advantage, penalty.
Advantage being played for the Barbas. Here they go again. And I think it's going to be the same result, is it?
Time off. I want to check for obstruction.
Well, the referee
Time off.
is going to go to the TMO. Here's Simon McDowell.
Is there any reason? Simon, can you hear me?
Yes, Ben.
Simon, any reason I cannot award the try? Just looking for some possible obstruction before, off the maul. And if it is no try, we're going back for a penalty for taking out the lifter.
We'll review.
Thank you. At the front of the maul, I just want to check if there was obstruction there.
I think it could be Chris King again with his hands on the ball.
So what he's looking for here, Michael, you can see this getting shorn off. If at any stage the ball is at the back of the maul and there are Barbarians men in front of it with no Ulster man in what's deemed to be a maul, is that obstruction. So we can see Rodney Ayew still attached, Roger Wilson still attached. For me, I really don't see too much
Simon,
wrong
it
there.
looks like the same maul, it's just gone forward. It looks like a try to me, mate.
Well, you hear what the match officials think?
Yeah,
Simon
give it a
McDowell
try, thank you.
gives a thumbs up. And the Barbas have another try.
But again, it's just that sheer weight advantage, isn't it? It's also technically very, very good. Good body positions, good communication. But again, that sheer weight and just expertise, staying on their feet, working around the corner. It's a nice set piece. They set a good structure to it. Corey Flynn in on the back. Chris King then joins in behind him. But
keep an eye on Flynn in the green socks.
Yeah, so they just sheer and come. Ulster try to pull this again. Rodney Ayew tries to pull this round the corner. And the Ulster defence just dissipates. And it's that weight of number that just carries it through. Chris King keeping his feet well. Your old mate Valemsi helping him along the way.
And there you are, loose head prop on a hat-trick. Plays for Poe, former Montpellier, New Zealand player. And here we have Madigan taking duties back from Horacio Aguja. So the last kick of the first half. Maybe a different style from Aguja. Marshall too quick off the blocks for Ulster. And he's done enough to put Ian Madigan off. So at half-time, after 40 entertaining minutes of rugby, the Barbarians have the narrowest possible lead. Tony McGuirter, 22-21, what do you think?
Yeah, it's been good, Michael. Conditions not good to start with. The weather's improved and the rugby's been of a really high quality and standard as well. Both sets of players enjoying themselves. We've seen the Ulster debutants coming to the fore from the Barbarians' perspective. Fruin and Nasser Aleva in midfield look good. Rory Cockett's controlled it, but it's been their front five really who have just turned the screw in the Ulster pack in the set piece, line out especially, and that's where they really dominated.
Okay, we'll get the thoughts very shortly of Eddie O'Sullivan and Stephen Ferris here at the Kingspan Stadium in this exhibition match at half-time. Ulster 21, the Babas 22.
Yes, Barbarians leading by a point, 4 tries to 3. Eddie and Stephen, an entertaining game, but perhaps not in the manner we normally expect to see the Barbarians play.
No, definitely not. I think it's been won or lost off front, and there's no rugby being played in the middle of the park. It's all like kick to the corner, mauls. I think Michael mentioned there in commentary, it's an exhibition game. I think the referee should let it flow. Any 50-50 calls, just let it go. We've seen the first 10 or 15 minutes there that the Ulster boys were running through them at will, and we want to see a bit more of that running rugby in the second half, and hopefully the referee will let it go a little bit more. But here, you got to give credit to this Barbarians team. They're packing a bit of weight and a bit of punch up front, and they're certainly using it to their advantage.
Normally we like to see the Barbarians running in lots of exciting scores. Eddie, what have you made of their forward-dominated approach?
I think a combination of the weather and the fact they have a very big pack of forwards, they're playing to their strength. But it's very un-Barbarian, to be honest about it. As Stephen said, we'd like to see them throw it around a wee bit. I know the conditions are bad. It's ironic that their best line out is when they're close to the Ulster line, where Ulster aren't really competing. They've struggled at the line out outfield, where Ulster are able to get in the air. And you can understand that, because you pull a bunch of guys together. The line out's very technical nowadays, and to see they can put a line out together against opposition is difficult. But look, they're playing to their strengths, although we'd like to see them do something different.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with everything that Eddie said there. It's just funny watching a Babas game and seeing them take on a team up front instead of throwing it around to the likes of David. Sorry, I've lost his name. David Smith, who was fantastic for Toulon over the last 3 or 4 seasons. Has now moved French clubs. I just want to see him with ball in hand. His legs are like tree trunks, but we haven't even seen him touch the ball. But fair play to the Babas.
But it's Ulster who've been playing at times the Barbarian-esque rugby. Stuart McCluskey would have fitted into one of those Barbarians teams of old, Eddie, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think McCluskey is a handful. I think nobody expected to find somebody that big running so hard. Bit of a mix-up here in the midfield. He gets a clean line break. But I mean, someone with that build coming at that speed, you got to hit him straight on. If once he gets the line break, there's no way he's going to be stopped. But again, like I was worried at this stage that the Babas would slip off. But to be fair, they had 2 ropey moments. They woke up and came back, and it's still a game. My worry was that they'd go to sleep altogether and it become one-sided. But look, McCluskey is probably throwing down a marker in his own way as well to Joe Schmidt if he's watching at home. You know, that like this guy can play, and he's not just a big ball carrier. He's able to offload, he's able to pass. I think he's a fantastic player.
What does he need to add to this game to get into the Ireland squad? Everybody kind of says, Stuart McCluskey's a bit of a one-trick pony. But for me, he's got very good distribution. We've seen that against Leinster in the last game of the Pro 12. He was very, very good. He's a big lad. He's got a sidestep. He get the offload away. He showed gas. He just burnt Rory Crockett to get over the try line. What else does he need to bring to this game?
The second Ulster try, he gave a beautiful chip over the top. So he's done everything tonight. He's passed, he's run, he's chipped the ball, but I don't know what he's got to do. But it's unfortunate that he's probably not on the summer tour. I think for him it would be good for his development. But whatever reason, the coach doesn't see a fit for him at the moment. But he's certainly sending a message tonight, if he's a chance to do it.
Okay, thank you, Eddie Stephen, for the moment. Let's join Gavin Andrews pitch side.
Well, 2 boys getting acquainted with each other, Stephen Davis and Charles Piatow. Stephen, first of all, speaking to a Kiwi, you're playing New Zealand tomorrow night. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, looking forward to the game. It's ideal preparation for us going out to Azerbaijan, so be a good test for both teams, and always nice to play again at Windsor.
I'm going to feel bad if you get the cold, you're shivering. What are you made of tonight? And your cousin playing and scored?
Yeah, it's been a great, entertaining first half. Obviously, get to see Callum playing tonight, making his debut, and obviously scoring a try as well. It's nice to be here.
And I believe you're a scrum half at school?
Played scrum half at school, wasn't quite the build for it, so football was always the path for me, but I enjoy coming to watch the games here.
Okay, speaking of builds, let's speak to Charles Piatow. Charles, you've had a chance to meet the guys, the Northern Ireland boys this week. How was that?
It was awesome, mate. To meet these boys, I know that the Ulster fans here love them, and the city does. And there's a big game coming up on Friday. Wish them the best, but not too well, playing against New Zealand.
And he picked a good night to come and watch some rugby. It's been pretty entertaining, hasn't it?
It's been great, considering for the weather. Both teams have really played with the ball, and it's great to see a lot of tries.
Give us an update on your injury. You've had some surgery in the ankle.
Yeah, but been about 3 weeks now. Everything's going to the plan set by the physios and stuff, and should be back by hopefully pre-season.
Good news. The New Zealand soccer team here tomorrow night. You're going back to New Zealand tomorrow. Everyone talking about the Lions. How do you see it going?
Yeah, I think it'll be a close free test. I think it'll be 2-1 to New Zealand, but hey, you never know. Anyone could win.
How's the buzz going to be out there for the guys with Rory Best, Ian Henderson, Jared Payne? What are they going to be experiencing over the next few weeks?
I think they're pretty used to vocal crowds like here and the Kingspan, but I think just the whole experience for them, it's a Lions, it comes, it's not very often, and playing in New Zealand, in the country, New Zealand's a big deal, having a Lions tour them, and they're playing so many games, so I think, they're going to really love the atmosphere and love every second of it.
Okay, Charles, thanks for your time. Stephen, final word to you. Big night for some of the young Ulster boys tonight. Big night potentially for some of the young Northern Ireland guys tomorrow night.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, the lads that have come into the squad this week, they always bring in freshness whenever they come in, and they'll be desperate to get an opportunity to see them with the boys tonight. And if they can do as well as the boys are doing here tonight, then it can only stand them in good stead.
Okay, go and get wrapped up. Michael O'Neill will not be happy with me if you get the call.
Cheers. Cheers, Alan.
Cheers, mate.
Well, we'll talk British and Irish Lions in just a moment, but Stephen Davis, of course, will enjoy seeing his cousin Callum Patterson's try tonight. Big night for a couple of the Ulster debutants for the young fella, Stephen.
And Callum Patterson made a mistake. The first ball he tried to take, he knocked it on, and for him to get on the score sheet is absolutely fantastic. It's a proud moment. He's waited. He just bides his time here. Puts a kick in. This is actually Mark Keane's try, but it's good pace. It's a good finish. Again, Eddie referred to it. It's a great kick over the top. But the young lads, I think, have put in a good effort. It's a tough task. These Babas boys, they're here. They're putting in a few big hits, and the young fellas are really performing well. It's really, really good to see.
Yeah, Callum Patterson getting over for a try. Big night for him. Eddie, Roger Wilson is Ulster's most capped player of all time, but probably in all of his caps that he's had, we haven't seen anything quite like this tonight, and him taking a conversion.
Well, I mean,
great kick.
It was a great kick, and he certainly didn't make it easy for himself. He's back on the 22, so he probably was making sure he wasn't blocked down. It would be the biggest ignominy, he would be blocked down. But he still made the kick, to be fair to him. I'd have taken it a wee bit closer if I was in it.
Yeah, me too. Eddie, Stephen, thank you very much indeed. Obviously, we are talking about the British and Irish Lions. They're getting ready, counting down to that first test on June the 24th. They play their first game this weekend. They're also playing the Barbarians. It's the New Zealand provincial Barbarians. Rory Best and Ian Henderson named in that starting lineup. Johnny Sexton's at out half. Jared Payne, the Ulsterman, made it onto the bench. Sam Warburton's captain. And the coach, Warren Gatland, has been stressing that there is plenty of competition for places.
The players that are involved with Graham Henry in 2001, I mean, he lost half the team in day one because he went, you guys over here and you guys over there, and the players knew straight away, well, that's a test side, and we're just making out the numbers. So, I think it's important that these guys feel like they're putting themselves in the shop window, that they've got a chance to go and prove themselves, and with a little bit of luck, then they're in contention for the test. So, look, our first focus at the moment is the first 3 games, give everyone a chance, looking at a couple of combinations, because that's important with the lack of preparation time, and then we'll start thinking a little bit more about the Saturday games and possibly the Maoris, and then towards the first test.
Well, there is the British and Irish Lions schedule coming up in June and July. A lot of games before that first test. As you can see, half a dozen games for Warren Gatland to try and select what he thinks will be his first test side. Too many games, Stephen, do you think?
Looks pretty easy to me. Not. It's going to be very, very tough, eh?
I think the problem he has is that in the perfect world, he'd like to get the test side 2 good hitouts before that first test. And he doesn't have enough games to do that because he's got so many players. He's talking about giving everybody a shot, but if you look at that schedule, from in terms of preparation point of view, he doesn't have a lot of games to find his test side, give him a chance to play together, build some units, the back row, the midfield and stuff like the back 3. Having said that, then, the schedule itself is incredibly difficult. There are no easy games. Going back to 2005, the Wednesday games were with a dolly. There's no dollies here. Almost every team they play, bar the Blues and the Barbarians, have won the Super Rugby Championship. So it's going to be brutal and it's going to be physical. So his time isn't on his side, and certainly by the time he gets to the first test, he may have a lot of guys on the ground with injuries.
Yeah, is that one of the big worries, Stephen, that you could lose a lot of key players before you actually start to get into the real juicy test games?
Yeah, I think if this Lions squad now was to play the first test on Saturday morning, after having played 6 games and they've got no injuries, I would say they've got a really good chance. But in six games' time, you know, will they have the same bodies on the pitch? Will they lose another couple of key guys, the likes of Billy Vunipola, who's a massive loss? Will they lose an Owen Farrell or Johnny Sexton?
You've got to factor in all these guys are at the back end of a very tough season. You know, it's not like the New Zealanders are fresh. The guys who are playing Super Rugby in the middle of their season, peak of their powers. Guys here in this part of the world are feeling a bit weary at this stage. There'll be a lot of energy. You know, it's a great thing, a Lions tour, gives fellas a big lift. But be able to deliver that week after week after week to a torrid campaign be a huge test.
Well, just as a bit of fun, we have asked you both to select what you think will be your starting Lions 15. There is Stephen Ferris's selection on the left, Eddie O'Sullivan's on the right. Stephen, you first. I mean, some differences there between yours and Eddie's, a lot of similarities too.
Yeah, well, I had Billy Vunipola at number 8, but obviously he's not there anymore, so I put CJ Stander in there. He has went off the ball slightly over the last number of weeks, but I think he picked up a bit of an ankle injury not so long ago, so I put him in there at number 8. He's just a great ball carrier, does the basics very well. Sam Warburton, Justin Tipperick, I think you could pick either of those guys, but I'll probably go with Sam Warburton because he's the captain. You just look through the rest of the team. Yes, there's a lot of Irish guys in there, but Owen Farrell playing most of his rugby at 12 for England. Defensively, he's very strong. John Davis, you know, unbelievable for the Scarlets over the last couple of games of the season. You know, George North, when it comes to big games, proven record, and Stuart Hogg, you know, just an attacking ability from full back. I think, you know, that when I look at that team in 4 weeks' time after the 6 games, I don't think it'll be anywhere near the same as that because there's so many class players out there.
And what about yours, Eddie? You've opted for Owen Farrell at 10, notably, instead of the centre.
Yeah, I think for a number of reasons. One, his form is very good. His place kick is going to be important, and I think it gives you an option to play Robbie Henshaw in the middle of the field with Jar Payne, which is a combination that's worked together well. So I think that probably gives him in that favour. I think the other one is Liam Williams has to get in there. He's the best back 3 player in the Pro 12 all year. He's been outstanding for the Scarlets. And I think Mako Vunipola they'll want to go with somebody in the front row who can carry a lot of ball, very dynamic. I think Falatau in the back row, he's a good stepper, he'll find soft shoulders. Stander's more up the middle kind of guy. I think the New Zealanders will cope better with Stander. Falatau will cause them more problems. And I think Toje, Cruz and Wyn Jones as line-out jumpers gives you great options.
What kind of experience will it be for a young fella like Ian Henderson, for example, going on this Lions tour, Stephen?
He's just got to relish it. You know, I was there when I was 24 years of age in South Africa, and you know, amongst a lot of experienced guys, we just got to enjoy it because it's over very, very quickly, and you're back in the plane before you know it.
And you never know in 4 years' time where you'll be. You got to play like it's your last. Every day you play for the Lions has got to be like your last day in a Lions shirt because you never know.
But he can learn so much from this and he come back a better player for Ulster next season.
Back to tonight, the Babas are leading by a point with their forward-dominated performance, surprisingly. How do you see the second half panning out?
Well, hopefully it'll loosen a little bit. It stopped raining and they've all got their feet on the clay. They know what the conditions are. So hopefully we'll see a little more rugby played, especially from the Babas. I think Ulster are trying to play and they make an entertaining game. It's to be honest, it's a bit dull for a Babas game. Hopefully they'll light it up in the second half.
Let's hope so, Stephen.
Let's hope so, yeah. Although Mike Ross is, I think, hoping for a few more drop balls. He loves scrummaging, he loves mauling, so you can see him. He's ready to go for another second half of sticking it up the jumper.
Okay, Stephen, Eddie, let's join Gavin Andrews.
Rod James, what was the message in that Babas dressing room? The coach looked a little frustrated / angry in the way in.
I think if we can control the ball, we seem to be having a bit of success that way, so that's all we'll try and do this half.
Despite the weather, it's been a decent exhibition of rugby.
Yeah, good Irish rugby, lots of balls and tries through them all. So I think, like I said, we've had quite a bit of success. We've kept the ball in hand, so we'll try and do that again this 40.
Looking forward to get out there, yeah?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, let's get across to our boys, Tony McWhirter and Michael McNamee.
No changes as far as we can see on the Barbarians team. Ricky Lutton is on for Ulster, though. And he's replaced Rodney Ayew in the front row for Ulster. And Cal McCall is on for Andy Warwick. Barbarians leading by a point in this beautiful summer's evening in Belfast. Alan Facundo-Isa obviously lost the ball in the sun, Tony McGuire.
I think he's still in the changing room, Michael. He doesn't look too worried about it. I think he was making sure he didn't fall over there because he would have got a severe barracking if he had.
4 tries to 3, the Babas lead.
How many?
Royal Pairing. We had an unhappy experience a few years ago against the Babas. Trying to find O'Connor. The Babas have nicked it. Well, Stephen and Eddie were saying a pragmatic performance by the Babas in the first half. Isa breaking away, setting it up for Cockett. And now suddenly, well, McCloskey did well to recover. Maybe the Babas trying to keep ball in hand to Corey.
It's fine, it's loose.
Patterson's picked it up, Fines is the referee. Handing off Madigan. Heron. So Connor. Marshall. Heron.
No,
Gilroy.
no.
He did well to dance round Isa initially.
Release.
And a bright start by Ulster at the start of the second half. Paul Marshall. Heron. That's Matty Ray. Marshall. O'Connor. That's finding Carl McCall.
Playing
real
advantage
initiative.
5. You took him
Advantage being played.
Yeah, you've got it.
Albacete was the man
leave it.
penalised. Quickly
Good
taken by
onside.
Paul Marshall. There goes Alan O'Connor. The line is in sight. And he's over. I make it Alan O'Connor's first try for Ulster.
Yeah, it was nicely done, wasn't it, Marshall? Eventually just milks the penalty from the referee, and it's classic Paul Marshall, tap and go, one way then the other. Alan O'Connor reacts well, doesn't he? Comes through, happy to put his head down and run over Alex Good, and in he goes. But that's what Paul Marshall does well. But that's what Alan O'Connor's all about, Michael. It's work rate. Doesn't do the flash stuff, but he's always there whenever you need him, whether it's cleaning out a ruck. On this occasion, it's running a smart line, and he puts himself in for 5 points, and that's a nice feather in the cap for this evening.
It was Alan O'Connor with the try.
Yeah, definitely Alan O'Connor.
His 40th appearance for Ulster. Brett Heron now with the conversion. And no mistake at all.
Right, sorry. Number 5, 5, and 1.
Once the line was inside, there was no doubting at all.
They do look quite similar. They're only in the second rows.
They could be brothers. Well, here come the changes in the Baba side.
Have you got 1?
Census Johnson is on for Chris King. And Chris Masso is on for Patricio Albacete.
5 and 1 is what he said. Hold the offside, yeah? Good.
Census Johnson, Michael, possibly tipping the scales now as the biggest man on the pitch. He is a brute.
Alan O'Connor fields for Ulster.
Tackle!
And once again, the lead has changed hands. Matty Ray not looking out of place at all in this august company. Kyle McCall able to offload. This is good by Ulster. High tackle on Callum Patterson.
Play on.
Stephen Davis delighted to see Patterson back on his feet, I'm sure, after that.
Tackle.
Marshall to Heron. McCloskey. Ulster's opening try scorer.
It's hit me, I'm sorry, lads. He's throwing it into me.
And Ben Whitehouse getting involved.
No, he said it's not. 3.
Robbie Fruin. That would be a binning at least.
Yeah, it's right in front of the touch judge. You're seeing here, there's certainly a grapple. I don't think his forearm really, his right arm maybe goes under his arm, Michael, rather than round the neck, and that's referee and linesman have given the benefit of the doubt to Fruin, and on that occasion good advantage played, also just unable to take advantage of it.
That's the end of Mike Ross's professional rugby career at the age of 37. Many memorable moments for Leinster and Ireland.
He's had a fine career, hasn't he? There was a lot of worry in the Irish rugby ranks whenever John Hayes hung up the boots, but Mike Ross very much came to the fore and
never let Ireland down.
Never let Leinster down either. Anchored down that scrum for season after season, and again he can retire a happy man.
Cockett, Madigan, Alex King, half stop by Patterson, back to Cockett.
Tackle, release! Playing advantage. He's holding that ball.
Advantage being played.
Still advantage.
Alex good at scrum half.
That's forward there, we're going here. You're not rolling away and you're stopping the ball.
Ben Whitehouse laying down the law.
Not rolling away, you were holding the ball as well.
6 minutes into the second half.
It's Clive Ross and Roger Wilson. You see Clive Ross just
that one, it was the same maul.
Pinning the man on top of him. He's making an effort of such, Michael, but he has to release the man and actually physically try and get out of the way. It's all well and good lying there and wriggling, making it look as if you are, but Ben Whitehouse is too good a referee not to catch on to that.
It's gone back.
It's gone back.
And that's on the boot. Hands away.
Ulster have stolen that ball back. Turnover possession for Paul Marshall. And that's one to chase. Guja absolutely dumps Mark Keane on his backside, and as Ulsterman down inside the 22. Play continues. Ulster down to 14 men for the moment.
Okay, you're on the floor.
Dusatoir helping the ball available for Cockett. Sharp hands, haven't seen too much of that from the Barbas so far.
He's not on the ball.
Cockett goes the other way, taken on by Chris Masso. Madigan in the thick of things. It's close quarters combat. We saw for long stretches in the first half as well. Loose pass. Picked up by Dusatoir. He's now into his final half an hour in top flight rugby. David Smith. But, Stephen Ferris was wanting to see feature a little bit more in this game. Cockett and Dusatoir in disgust turns away. A rare error.
Well, that's a little bit more like it in terms of Barbarians, side to side, and a few offloads and bits and pieces. Matty Ray was the injured Ulster man. He's thankfully back to his feet and coming back into it. And I think it's important for the likes of himself and young Keane. We saw you Keane getting bounced there by Aguja, Michael, but experience that you gain from a match like this is massive for these guys. This is by far and away the biggest game they've ever played, and against the quality of opposition as well. You can learn so much.
The Samoa scrum half. Fodo Ali replacing Rory Cockett.
Forward off black.
Fodo Ali. And the scrum half wearing 21. So the Barbas emptying the bench in the early stages of this second half.
Crouch.
Ulster making those changes. Marshall on in the first half.
Set.
Peru and Pinar, and then a couple of changes in the front row for the second.
Behind the ball, stay close. Stay close. Use it.
Defeated Wilson. Marshall looking for the break. Has support from Gilroy. Here goes Craig Gilroy back to Marshall. Wildly forward. Picked up, scooped up by Alex King. Right, here come the Barbas. Masso. Fodo Ali. Fruin. Oh, he's through. Does he have the support? Robbie Fruin looking for a little bit of help. That's up to the Ulster 22-metre line. Quick pacey ball for Smith. That's on to Chris King looking for his third try. Might still be there for the Babas.
Release! Release!
David Smith. Issa. Nearly through. Offloads. Brilliantly stopped.
First, second. Sorry, lads.
And some tremendous defensive work by Ulster.
What a bit of skill though from Alex Good down this touchline. Issa trying to round it off at the very end and just unable to get the offload to Census Johnson, but the piece of skill from Alex Good in front of the comedy stand here. My goodness, the ball came through, just flicked it across with his right foot, picked it up almost Gaelic style with his left. Offload inside, and then the Barbarians, really in their best passage of play, Michael, just open things up. The break and the feet from Fruin in midfield, again, magnificent to watch.
And good skill was done so quickly.
Effortlessly, and that's what you find with the quality player.
Well, there goes Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall to Gilroy. Craig tries to outstrip the cover, doesn't quite make it. Ball goes for, but what's this from Good? Well, wouldn't look out of place at Windsor Park tomorrow night. Magnificent. Fodalay inside, Chris Massoe. And again, just the appreciation of those players, the right place, right time, short support lines, make it look all so easy, as you say.
There's no mistaking that haircut. Richard Hibbard on. He's on for Corey Flynn. And Chris King is going off, so there'll be no hat trick for him. Basil Palo coming on. So it's an all-new front row for the Babas. Chris King happy with his evening's work. Not often he'll be on the score sheet twice, I'm sure, in a game. Corey Flynn as well, a try scorer this evening.
Crouch. Bind.
This is a defensive Ulster scrummage right in front of their own posts. And they're under some pressure.
Ball's out. Ball's out.
Ball is out.
Away, leave
Marshall's
it. Away.
looking for it.
There it is.
It is there for Ulster. Clive Ross moving around.
Use it. Sorry.
Nelson clears. Alex Good. It did make 15 metres. Ball popped up for the Babas.
Backwards, backwards.
Once again, no way through that wall of sky blue. Valemsi. Fotu Ali. Inside the Ulster 22. Again, advancing towards the Ulster try line, metre by metre. Not far away now, Fotu Ali. Hibbard, who's only just on.
Back, back.
Don't think the ball went forward.
Cleaned out.
Fotu Ali to Corey, a couple of metres short. And Ulster somehow cling.
Hang on, David. I didn't see how they came back.
Not breached.
I'm gonna have to check that.
Back to the TMO and Simon
McDowell.
just
one view, please. I want to see whether that was kicked dead by white or was taken back by blue.
Ben will review.
Just shot out there, sorry, mate.
Baba's just going through the gears, Michael, aren't they? We sort of talked in the first half of Vern Cotter worried whether his troops would last the 80 minutes, and certainly the injection from the bench has really proved a big point. They've gone up in gears. Their handling at close quarters is very, very impressive. Mr. Corey just going around the corner. Herring then makes the tackle. I think he'll also just get a hand in there to work that back, and I don't think there's anything sinister in the way it goes dead.
Well, I think that roar might tell you who's going off. Rob Herring is going off. But I suspect the roar is for that fella. After 222 appearances, 2 spells at Ulster, a brief interregnum at Northampton, Roger Wilson's top-flight rugby career is at an end.
Yeah, he's going well again this evening, hasn't he? As Roger does every game, he leaves nothing out there. Happy just to empty the tank on every occasion, and perhaps his 2 best games of the season have been the last 2 games we've seen him play.
Now, lads, yeah.
Debut back in September 2003 against the Neath Swansea Ospreys. John Andrews on at hooker. And Stephen Mulholland, whose last appearance was in Boxing Day 2015 for Ulster, has replaced Roger Wilson. In the midst of all that, Barbarians have an opportunity to try and cross the Ulster goal line once more. And once again, they're trying to do it from close quarters. And it's been illegally kicked away.
Lads, leave it. It's a penalty try.
Penalty try. No real surprise about that.
No, it was always coming, wasn't it? Great control from Chris Massoe at the base, edging it forward, and also tried to slew the scrum round, and an errant foot came through, deliberately kicking that through, and Ben Whitehouse was only going in one place there, and that was under the post. But again, good footballing control from Massoe. That's not easy. I think it's Stephen Mulholland. He's just on the paddock, and he's given away a penalty try straight away.
The old laws wasn't agreed apparently.
One of the easier decisions, I think, for Ben Whitehouse this evening. Conversion was added, and the Babas have got their lead again. And that was Madigan with the 2 points. Smith.
No.
Madigan spraying it out. Ball didn't go forward. Boutin is on. Jean-Marcellin Boutin.
Release.
Use back. A couple of caps for France. 2012. Photo alley over the top. Taken by Nelson. Well, I think whatever else happens in the remaining 24 minutes, it's going to be a tight finish.
He's not on the ball.
Ulster have lost it. That's Naya Thalevu. A tricky man to stop and a tricky man to pronounce. Won by Valemsi. Photo alley. A wild pass. There's a Barbarian down in midfield. They're 14 for the moment. Madigan. It's Massoe.
No hands. Good.
Madigan again.
Stay. Back. Offside, playing advantage.
So Isa.
Second row.
Squirts up in the air.
Offside, time off. Shot early, okay? Time off.
That's nice to that. We're down in midfield. Michael, he's been there for a couple of minutes. We'll hope he can get back up. But maybe just strain something going through. Alan O'Connor comes across and makes a tackle on him, and maybe just lands awkwardly in that knee. But starting to prove a bit of a thorn in this Ulster side in the second half. And Barbarians, we talked about it. They're close control. They're offloading. They really have been energised by the bench, Massoe, Photo Alley, all of them having a major impact to play. And Ulster actually just looking a little bit tired, one would say. There's a few hands on hips. Barbarians looking as if they may come through the stronger.
Gavin Andrews is the hardest working man in show business.
Thank you, Michael. Ryan Pienaar has promised he won't cry. How much fun was that out there today, Ryan?
Yeah, it was good. I think that's what rugby is all about. Is that's what you see when you spend a couple of days with the Barbarians. It's just a bunch of guys who become mates in a short space of time and just want to enjoy themselves on the rugby pitch. And I think for all the young Ulster players as well, it's a lot of fun and played in good spirit. I'm sure the people seen a couple of good tries. So yeah, it was really good fun.
A lot of young Ulster guys. How much talent is there in the team that you leave now?
Yeah, no, there's a massive amount of talent, and we've seen it over the years with the guys that's come through the academy. And I think Les Keys has worked with them for a few weeks now in some different structures that he wants to implement for next season. So yeah, great players, and I think the guys have showed some character tonight against a massive Barbarians team. So they fronted up and done some really good stuff.
I'll miss you, man.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
I'm welling up again. I know you are, Tony. What a great guy Ruan Pienaar's been for Ulster, on and off the pitch. And he's watching now as the Barbars try to increase their 1-point lead. Madigan. A little bit of magic hands there. Barbars still have it. Change the angle of attack. Hibbard. Alan O'Connor's getting treatment and might get involved accidentally in this Barbars attack.
Stay.
Fotuali. Madigan. Hibbard.
Keep going backwards, lads. Number 7, you've come round. You haven't judged it well enough. It's a maul.
Could the referee have let that one go, Tony?
I think again, Michael, that's one that he definitely could have. Clive Ross tried to basically claim that from the Barbarians line out, Ulster didn't actually invoke the maul. He didn't step in and make contact with anybody, so then he felt he was legal to come in from the Barbarian side. Ben Whitehouse disagreed with him. Played the initial advantage, but perhaps if he had let the advantage go completely. So here we see they've landed and there's nobody in. Now, Clive Ross is quite entitled to do that. It looks all wrong because he's in from the wrong side, but Ulster have not engaged from their defensive line-out system, so Ben Whitehouse for me has misread that, and that's the wrong call. Perhaps a bigger wrong call was not letting the Barbarians play that out and score in the right-hand corner, though.
Ross came back after injury, and he's replacing Ricky Lutton. The man with no number. Still concerned about Alan O'Connor.
He's making a change, then we'll go.
And there's been another change with Jeremy Thrush, Gloucester, New Zealand, replacing Joe Takori. And Chris Henry replaces Alan O'Connor.
That may be an HIA, Michael. Maybe a way just to get checked out and come back on. He certainly looks as if he's leaving the pitch under his own steam. Michael Webb will maybe take him down the tunnel and
Blues will go on the line.
just go through the return to play protocols with him.
Heading into the last quarter. Barbars being forced backwards by Ulster to the delight of the home fans. This was away in the middle of that for the Barbars.
Stay back.
Fotuali. That's on by Isa.
Release. Playing advantage. You've got to roll away from there, lads.
Advantage for the Barbars.
Still advantage.
No advantage coming.
Lads. Captain. Who's the captain?
Who is the captain?
It's 7 again.
It's Chris Henry.
Every single penalty seems to be against him. I know he's just lying there. He's not letting the ball come back. 7 was the main man. 4 was also in there. I know it's an exhibition game and what have you, but you know you're not letting the game flow now, okay?
I think Chris Henry had a look around. He was wondering, am I the captain now? And he took the mantle upon himself. Look at that telling off from referee Whitehouse.
On that occasion, he probably wished he wasn't.
Not a bad man having the bench.
The wall, Michael, one of the great moves.
Thank you.
This is going back to...
We used to try these at school.
Yeah, they're
to no great effect.
Who wants it?
Where is it going to pop up? Here we go. Fotuali. Through the hands of Madigan. And it's going to be a try.
Straight out of the textbook.
For Niall Falefu. I'm not quite sure how that worked or why it worked, but it did work.
I haven't seen one of those in ages. It brought such a smile to my face. That's one they used to work on at school all the time.
Where's the pass?
Yeah, just Madigan knew what he was doing all the time there, didn't he?
Brilliant. That's an offload and a half.
They are the hardest ones to read because that's, you know, it's just...
Second try of the night for the big Fijian.
He just can't countenance that actually happening, and whenever it does, it makes the defender just look so stupid because he hasn't read it. Pops into Baba's hands and over he goes.
No.
Have another look at it.
No, that's gone backwards, right.
Was that deliberate? We'll give Madigan the benefit of the doubt. Conversion added by Madigan. 36-28.
Knowing him, Madigan, Michael, I think he'll claim that was definitely on.
That's good enough for me. I think Peter Nelson's gone off for Ulster. Replaced by Dave Shanahan.
Yeah, Paul Marshall looks like he's maybe dropping the full-back and Shanahan in at 9.
Well, Paul Marshall's played a few positions for Ulster. This might be a first for him. Ulster have got this back. Clive Ross.
Stay.
8 points the gap now. Shanahan.
Released it.
Mr. Babas 22.
It's off for a few boots.
Quickly taken by the Babas.
Oh, I know, I saw him hit the boot. Bobby, I saw him hit the boot.
And it's actually an Ulster ball.
No, he pushed it back, play. It's a blue ball, it came off a white boot.
A bit more enterprise in Barbarians in the second half, hasn't there? A little bit more off the cuff, looking to try and get those offloads going. They've got themselves comfortably in front, but they've got good value for it as well. We've seen maybe more catch and drive, as Stevie and Eddie alluded to at half-time, but in the second half they've certainly tried to move the ball about and go through the gears and the repertoire.
John Andrew with the throw.
18 out, good. 8 out, 8.
You know, that's Isa. Crowd enjoying the Ulster rumble forward. And that's John Andrew. Shanahan. Keane. The fella's done well.
All the way, Bobos, thank you. It's your player.
Shanahan once more.
Back.
Chris Henry's 20.
Tackle me.
Cal McCall getting caught up. Shanahan. Heron. Well kept alive by Stuart McCloskey. Shanahan. Ross. Marshall. Cal McCall. Maybe delayed the pass a little bit too long, but it's still there for Shanahan. Craig Gilroy coming in off the wing. Shanahan busy already on his replacement.
No, good, there it is, blue ball.
There it is, blue ball, says referee Whitehouse. Clive Ross. Helped on by Callan Patterson. McCloskey slips out of the fingers.
Advantage.
And David Smith.
Still advantage.
Let's see if the Babas are going to run it from their own line. Bhutan.
Coming back from the north corner, I think, going to give the Barbarians the scrum.
Go here.
Well, the Babas are trying. Again, the slippery ball eluding Ulster hands. On that occasion, it was Stuart McCloskey.
It's a difficulty for Ulster, Michael, again, whenever you're shorn of so many of your first choice players, and then you go to your bench in the second half and untried combinations, guys just unsure which line a player's going to run. Likewise, whenever you're in a team that's playing together all the time, instinctively you know where the player's going to be. He's going to step off his right foot, his left foot, and it's a little bit easier to break defences down rather than just taking one off runners.
Yeah, come on.
Who's left to come on for Ulster? Callum Smith, I think.
Callum Smith's the last one. Because if he's stripped and ready for action as well on the far side.
Stay in there, nice and straight. Shoulder, keep your hips out, good. Crouch!
Still no lack of effort from Thierry Dusatoir.
Set! Keep the 5. 9.
Just
use it.
Putting pressure on his opposite number. Futu Ali finds Madigan. Here they go. Futu Ali trying to keep it alive once more. Off the boots as the referee. Play on.
Stay back.
Ulster snaffled it though. And a good drive forward by Ray. Oh, tidy hands. Very nearly a scoring pass by Mulholland.
Sorry, I thought you said he was touched. Sorry, I saw you talking to them. I thought you said he was touched.
Tap on the head from Mark Keane.
Said something to...
It was Patterson and McCloskey and Mulholland. Just didn't find the hands of Mark King.
These hands again from big Stuart McCloskey, wasn't it? Just nice take and gave showing another variation in his repertoire as well. Cam Foda, he read that well, and Mark King got man and ball and touch judge.
That's Gavin Andrews, mate. Brock James on.
Is he on the field?
He's on for Madigan. Valemski's taking the line out ball.
Stay.
We think that's the Barbarians having cleared their bench.
Backwards. No hands, Blue. No.
Barbarians at the moment having trouble getting away from their own 22.
It's gone back off Blue.
And just confirmation that Callum Smith is on for us.
Tackle release. Good.
That's a lovely break. And the scoring pass eventually slips and evades the grasp of Paul Marshall.
Line of his absolute mercy as well, Michael. Nice pass from Shanahan. Paul Marshall just took his eye off it. I think he was just either looking to see if there was cover, or he was looking to see where the posts were, to see where he had to dart round and touch it down. But beautifully worked down the blind side again from Ulster. Good sleight of hand transfer. He actually used the injured situation quite well. Ran that, used it as a bit of a block and a dummy, and that bought him the line. But Paul Marshall will be disappointed with that.
Joe Tokoria is back. Paul Willems is off.
Okay. We all up, everyone?
And that really would have got Ulster back into the match as well, Michael. At this stage, 8 points behind, 2 scores. Realistic, I think if Marshall had caught that, it would have been a pretty simple conversion and back to 1 point. Not to be, though.
Just over 10 minutes left to play. In the increasing gloom of the Kingspan Stadium. It is
Crouch.
the 1st of June, isn't it?
Fight.
Feels more like the 1st of October.
Straight in. You load it up. 18. Free kick. Length on. Pressure on.
Ross Kane, the man penalised. Free kick to the Barbas.
It's a free kick, yeah, Ted?
And Brock James will apply boot to ball. And that's over the head of Callum Smith, who replaced Mark Keane. Line out in halfway line.
It's a quality strike from Brock James. He's going to La Rochelle this year, Michael, from Clermont in France, and La Rochelle, first season in the top 14, done remarkably well. Missed out in the final, but they're going to be a force in French rugby over the next few years.
10 years at Clermont.
Yeah, great service, great footballer as well, and top bloke at the same time.
Pete Brown with a line out take. Shanahan. It's a good catch by Heron.
Tackle release. All out.
Shanahan. Now an opportunity for Gilroy. Gilroy's got one man to beat. He does it brilliantly. He goes back again. Fantastic by Gilroy. And Mulholland was unfortunate. Might still be there though for Ulster. Go back the other way. Marshall. McCloskey. Suddenly sees 2 or 3 big men in white and black jerseys in front of him.
Rock! Leave it!
It's there for Shanahan if they can get his hands on it. Craig Gilroy's going to be the scrum half. Brown.
18, stop being lazy. You've won the ball.
Barbarians.
Don't be silly.
Jim have it back, and Ulster had been warned by the referee.
You won the ball.
And Ben Whitehouse's patience ran out.
Yeah, just an accuracy from Ulster. Look at these feet from Gilroy, though. My goodness, Alex Good's not want to go and see that again. You talk about turning somebody inside out, he left him on his backside, but that's what Gilroy can do. And Craig's been remarkably quiet this evening. You'd almost think a Barbarians game for him. He's made for the occasion, isn't he? But the ball just hasn't come his way. It's just been one of those evenings.
Who's on the line?
The 150 up for Craig Gilroy tonight. I'm sure he'd love to mark it with a score in the last 10 minutes.
Time off.
Another Babas injury being treated. They might have been expecting t-shirts and sunglasses this evening.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 days ago maybe, but certainly whenever they pulled the curtains back this morning, I think they're lucky to see it's actually dry, because the forecast was for it to rain for the rest of the evening as well, and we've been lucky it's dried up. It's helped the conditions and it's helped the quality of the match no end as well.
Oh, Mike Ross is back. Replacing Census Johnson, who's gone off injured. So an unexpected additional 8 or 9 minutes for Mike Ross.
Stay back, good.
Still that 8-point gap.
Tackle release. Stays on.
And let's see what the 30-somethings who've played from the start have got left in them.
No advantage.
Little knock on, I think, by Decory there.
Yeah, they're still trying, still looking at that little box of tricks just to try and unlock the door. Decory maybe just not quite warmed up after coming back off the bench, but Brock James pulling the strings at 10. He looks full of running, so he does.
Yeah, the box of fireworks should maybe just a little bit damp in these conditions, Tony.
Yeah, potentially. There's been some good stuff, Mike. I've been really impressed with Robbie Fruin. He's certainly going to be a big addition to the Pro 12 next year. He's been full of running. He's obviously, as we mentioned earlier, he hasn't played an awful lot of rugby. Game time's what he needs, and potentially he's only going to get better and better. And from an Edinburgh perspective, he looks like a top-end signing.
Dave Shannon, who'll be battling for his place against John Cooney next season, amongst others.
See that side, he's too far away. Yeah,
and there's Mike Ross, who might have been tempted to get the first of the hot water, but realised that he might have been called upon and was indeed required. sort of fizzled and sparked the second half, hasn't it? Not helped by all the replacements.
It's just the way the modern game is these days, isn't it? There's almost too many replacements. I saw an argument written a couple of weeks ago, and somebody calling for replacements only whenever there really were injuries rather than tactical appreciation of the game. And
yeah, proving that's going to be easy.
Yeah, but it certainly does take the sting out of the game, slows it down, and whenever teams are maybe trying to introduce a bench to get some speed into it and pick the pace of the game up, you can certainly slow the game down quite simply in today's game.
Kevin Anders making more friends amongst the Babas. Well, he knows he's on camera. And there's Vern Cotter, who'll be working with Pinar at Montpellier next season.
Big Joe Chikori.
Was it that?
Checking the contact lens,
I was
Michael.
going to say it's a contact lens problem. He knows he's on camera, doesn't he?
Are we okay?
Yes, he does.
I know. There's your marker there, lads, okay?
I can tell you that in
Time
the
back on.
pre-match mascots race,
Probably silly,
Sparky
lads, 8
was
minutes
beaten
left.
by a
Let's get back to where we
sandwich.
were.
A sandwich won the pre-match mascots race.
Subway streaked across the pitch, didn't he?
Sparky will have to work on his fitness for next season.
He was a distant third or fourth, I think, Michael, as well.
Never in the reckoning, Sparky.
The Dale Farm cow trounced him at the same time.
Ball's out, came out.
It was a bit of a messy one.
Playing advantage.
Advantage being
You're
played.
offside, you played the ball. There's nothing I can do. I know you're making your way back, but you were offside when you played the ball.
Just over 6 minutes left to play. A converted try would put Ulster to within a point of the Babas.
Yeah, you feel Ulster needs something now, Michael. Clock really starting to tick down. Calm flat between the forwards. Kyle McCall runs off to relay the message to John Andrew, as is the way it's done in today's world.
Yeah, Sparky's the only one who hasn't got a game this evening for Ulster. Mulholland with ball in hand.
Away! It's a rock! It's a
Under
rock!
the might of Chris Masoe. Shanahan. This is Callum Smith. Shanahan for Heron. Inside for Pete Brown.
Really?
Shanahan misses out Ross. Paul Marshall. Now it's opening up for Patterson. Another high. Wonder did he accidentally duck into that. McCloskey's handing out his brand of justice. Let's see what referee Whitehouse will do. Patterson's taking a bit of a blow.
Away! Away! Cooker!
Ross.
No hands, 3. There's the ball. Stays on.
Still Ulster trying to work it down the narrow side.
Playing advantage.
Advantage being played for the Babas.
Advantage over. He's released it.
He's made some progress, Issa.
No, you're not on the ball.
James. Now there's a 2-on-1.
Flat.
They couldn't find David Smith. They have done so. Wonderful offload to Alex Good. That is absolutely brilliant by David Smith. The offload of the night. And Alex Good might just have wrapped up victory for the Babas.
Yeah, I think Ben Whitehouse, Michael's going to go back and have a look at this. The tackle from Chris Masoe. It's through and again, making that incursion. Look at the step from Smith. In he comes, out the back of the hand. Alex Good running a beautiful line, and that's been the try of the evening so far, if it stands.
Yeah.
Ben, we're going to put it on the screen.
Masoe did give Callum Patterson a fair shot.
Number 20, White.
Okay.
Well, Thierry Dusatoir is trying to take this conversion, but we'll go back to look at the challenge again on Patterson.
You got it, Ty?
Yeah, he's certainly caught him high, hasn't he?
It's on my screen.
He
Ben.
has
Is it on the big screen?
used his arms, but it's the
Okay, so you're going to have to either
tip of the
describe
shoulder
to me or
really
you're gonna
does
have to
make
just play
contact with Callum Patterson's jaw, and by the letter of the law, that should be a penalty, Michael.
You're going to have a decision either way just to get on with this now, Ty.
Yeah.
This maybe isn't the best angle for it either.
20, White.
Yeah.
Shoulder hits the player high. John, a recommendation?
A recommendation as well, please, yeah.
Yellow card.
Okay, no try, we're going back. 20, yes?
Correct, 20, White.
Well, the try of the night has been wiped out. A yellow card will be shown.
20!
Yeah, I think Simon McDowell's got that right. You know, you have to. There has to be a stand. Yes, it is an exhibition match. But as the letter of the law stands, you can't make tackles like that.
20.
Chris Masoe will play no further part in the game. Good to see Callum Patterson
There was
though.
a high shot, and it's a shoulder. It's
On the
high
sidelines, at least smiling.
It's going to be a yellow card.
Are you kidding me?
Well, of all the things we were going to see this evening, I don't think we're going to see a yellow card.
High tackle.
Fairness to Masoe, he's gone across the Ulster bench and
Not a good kick by Aaron. And suddenly Ulster, just as I said that, we're nearly back in with a sniff. Concede possession to the Barbarians. Marshall, unexpectedly at full back. Hubbard forcing Ulster back. Shannon setting it up. Ulster have been forced back. 8-9 metres inside the Barbarians half. Craig Gilroy fields it brilliantly. He's got support from McCloskey. Gilroy does extremely well. And just as I say that, the Barbarians break away. Smith getting the ball back from Alex Good. Issa. It's really loose now. James setting it up, and this will be Takori all the way through to wrap up victory for the Barbarians.
beautiful score from the Barbarians, and that was the try of the evening, Michael. Almost going the full length of the park. Beautiful interplay. Frew and David Smith and Big Joe Takori just takes a short line off, and Aquapine's in that last yard and a half. He's enjoyed himself.
I'm told that's a dab.
I think you are correct.
We're down with the kids, you and me, Tony. Dusatoir. Hey, he's no Roger Wilson with a boot. But he has the 2 points with 2 minutes of his top flight rugby career left.
It's nice to see a few smiles, Michael, isn't it? Professional game, it's all very intense and do or die and jobs on the line, but it's great to see these professional players able to let their hair down and
there's a smiling too.
Yeah, have a bit of crack.
That counts as exuberance, I think, on the rugby field. Tidy take by Fruin. Fotu Ali.
Forwards, playing advantage. No advantage. Mark on.
into the last minute.
Nothing passive.
Tommy O'Hagan on it, loose head for Kyle McCall. Again, Tommy O'Hagan, one of the young guns coming through this academy. Big things expected of him.
Forward by yourselves.
Going well on the Raven side this year, Michael. And again, a couple of injuries. A bit like Ross Kane. Just needs to see a bit of action in that front row over the next season or two, just to get a few miles on the clock. Game time for those young bucks in there, all important.
Well, he's going to go on scrimmage under his belt.
Set. Hold.
He's been wheeled round, but where's the ball? Ababa's had it.
Tackle release. Good. Stays you on, stays you on.
The Babas want to finish with a flourish.
Use it. Lads, don't hold it.
There hasn't been too much puffing and blowing from the 30-somethings.
It's gone forwards and that's time.
And I think that is that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Babas came to entertain. They came to win as well, and they did both.
Yeah, it's been a fine spectacle of an evening. Maybe not vintage Barbarians, Michael, in terms of end-to-end rugby, but highly efficient, full of quality. And again, a fitting way for someone like Thierry Dusatois to finish his career. Man of the match, and again, very much the young son hero of this evening.
Yes, it's all about the farewells now, the au revoirs for Thierry Dusatoir, Mike Ross, of course Roger Wilson, Ruan Pienaar, and a few of the other Ulster guys who are heading to pastures new. Friendships renewed and entertainment on the cards. So here at the Kingspan Stadium, the Barbarians winning by 15 points in the end. Ulster 28, the Babas 43.
Stephen Ferris and Eddie O'Sullivan have been with us watching a much more entertaining second half and much more Barbarian-esque.
It was great to see some crazy moves. The old one that you learn in primary school, that 5 or 6 guys lining up in a wall. Bit of good fortune for the Barbarians team, but I thought they thoroughly deserved their victory. Ulster couldn't really hold on to the ball, get their continuity and a multi-phase going, and as soon as there was a turnover, the Barbarians went the length of the field and got a couple of really, really nice tries there.
Eddie, how much is it all about friendships, farewells, like here to Ruan Pienaar, and a real feel-good factor as well about rugby?
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's this atmosphere around Barbarians games where it's really about the rugby. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who wins the game. It's all about the event and the entertainment. I'm glad the Barbarians went in the second half and took it on. We're worried in the first half they were going to go back to the maul in the second half, but they didn't. It was great. And Ulster again tried to play as well, an inexperienced team, some changes as well, a bit of disruption. So I thought they hung on there well. Their inexperience showed at times against top level players, but it was certainly entertaining from everybody's point of view, and much better in the second half.
And a goodbye to those two great Ulster rugby servants, Roger Wilson, who's hanging up the boots, Ruan Pienaar, who moves on to Montpellier, and joining Vern Cotter as Barbarians coach tonight, the new coach of Montpellier.
Yeah, they're two really good lads, and I think a lot of the limelight has been on Ruan Pienaar over the last couple of weeks, but I think a lot of credit's got to go to Roger Wilson, the way he's handled himself over the last couple of months of his career. And I've seen a picture actually on Instagram of one of the lads, of him actually clearing out his locker, and that's what the players that are retiring have to go through. Ruan Pienaar's moving on to new pastures over Montpellier, and we wish him all the very best. But the Roger Wilson, I think everybody would agree, he's been a tremendous servant. We wish him all the best as well, Stephen.
Okay, well, I think you two picked tonight the double try scorer for the Barbarians, Navas Salevu. He is the man of the match, and he's talking to Gavin.
Well, say, Navas Salevu, you are the man of the match. How much did you enjoy your Belfast experience?
Hey, Bula Vinaka, by the way. Really enjoyed it. The weather is nice. And the win today was for the boys that are retiring. Yeah, pretty grateful for the game. Congrats to Ulster for a good match, and congrats to the boys for the great effort today.
A lot of smiles. Is that the way the game should be played?
Yeah, I think so. That's the Barbarian way.
Okay, go and enjoy the celebration.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Why him as the man of the match tonight?
Naya Salevi, I think, was brilliant. Every time he touched the ball, he looked like he was going to make something happen. He also scored 2 tries. It was a pretty tight game for the most, and he seemed to be the difference for me. I think he'll enjoy a few beers tonight. All the boys, they say they're playing up with a smile on their face, but they also enjoy themselves off the pitch, and that's the Barbarian way. He's a great finisher.
What about this one?
Oh, bit of good fortune. Look at this here, through the hands, bang. But he still had to finish it. He still had to get over the line, and he done that. And fair play, old school move, and it worked out.
Eddie, as Ireland coach, you always like to conjure up the odd, tricky set piece move. What did you make of that one?
I think that probably worked out differently than it planned. I think the bounce pass off of Ian Madigan's head wasn't in the playbook. But it's you rarely see this stuff now in the professional game, where the trick move, the trick play, it's kind of gone out of the game. It's a pity, really, because they are still effective if they're good enough, but we tend not to put the time and effort into them. It's all about playing phase rugby, winning the next ruck, eking out the hard yards. And you see the Barbarians, it's good to see that again. Maybe some coaches will think twice about it. And we have these power plays now, but they're very more traditional, off our lineouts and scrums. Those power plays are very effective. Of course, you can't bargain in for the bounce pass off the head, but having said that, it was good to see. It brings a certain kind of entertainment value to the game.
Okay, well, Roger Wilson has just played his very last professional game of rugby. He's talking to Gavin.
Roger, if you don't watch yourself, you might get a new contract.
No, I don't know about that. I hardly touched the ball today, but played a little bit more than I thought I was going to play. But happy the way it went, really. It was difficult with the conditions. We tried to play as much rugby as possible. A lot of knock-ons, as you'd expect, but there's a lot of tries and all that, so I think we entertained the cards as much as we could.
How are the nerves over that kick?
It's more nervy than you'd expect, to be honest. I was probably kicked slightly to the side of the post. I'd rather that than one in front of the post. If you've missed that, then that's pretty embarrassing. But yeah, I went through okay. I practiced a few yesterday.
Stay with us, fellow Inst boy. Had a big night tonight, Mark. Try. Couldn't be better.
Yeah, privileged to play in the Ulster jersey. Never felt better score. Good to get a first catch as well, get the nerves out of the way. Got called up on Monday, so it's all a bit fast track. Don't really know what's going on at the minute.
And all these legends on the pitch, and this man beside you as well.
It's just the debut I want to make, playing against the guys like Dusatoir, who've played for years, and you've watched them growing up on TV. It's an absolute privilege to play against them.
Okay, star man, we'll see you in the future. Rog, good luck for the future.
Cheers, thanks very much. Thank you, lads, all the best.
Well, Rob Herring just saying thank you to the fans. And there is Ruan Pienaar. 7 years he spent at Ulster. Unfortunately, Ulster wanted to keep him. He wanted to stay. The Irish Rugby Football Union said he had to leave. Now he played his last game, and just a reminder that you can still see our special documentary on Ruan Pienaar. It's available on the iPlayer. It's called Pienaar Looks Back at His Ulster Career, and also examines that controversial departure from Irish rugby. Tonight the Barbarians have won the game, and as Eddie and Stephen were saying, much more Barbarian-esque. They cut loose in that second half, and I mean the last try was a cracker, wasn't it?
It was. Everybody coming to the game tonight, myself included, were looking at the rain and the umbrellas were up, and this is what we wanted to see. They're keeping it in hand, offloading, working hard for each other, and it topped off with fantastic Big Joe DeCory. I thought Paul Marshall was going to get him here. No, I didn't really.
I think he thought twice about it.
Yeah, he thought twice. Big Joe, I played against Joe DeCory a couple of times, and he's a big unit, but I didn't actually really realise he had that turn of pace.
And what about this as a way to finish your international career with a conversion for Dusatoir?
Dusatoir, it was great to see him take the conversion, but you got to remember, in terms of his French career, he's been ever present in the French team. Not just as a player, he's a world-class back row player, but as a leader in that French team. He's been around that team a while. He's held them together through rough times.
Captain, yeah.
When French teams often tend to wobble. So he's got a fantastic record and a fantastic character. It's great to see him finish on a little bit of a high.
And after all this fun, friendly atmosphere tonight, Stephen, I suppose it will be back to the serious stuff soon for the Ulster rugby team. The pre-season will start, and they will try and pick up at the start of the season in a much better way than they finished it, in a disappointing manner, not making the playoffs this year.
They have to. There's new faces coming in the coaching staff. Neil Dokes heading off to new pastures, and same as Alan Clark, and you know, it's a bit of a change. Few guys coming in, the likes of Ruan Pienaar, Roger Wilson leaving, so there's big change here at Ulster Rugby and at the Kingspan Stadium. But it's a new season, it's a new start. Let's hope they can make it work.
Absolutely. Stephen, Eddie, thank you for your company tonight. Ruan Pienaar says bye-bye, and so do we for another season. Bye-bye.